So, 3 years ago, beside my full-time job where I was working as senior UI UX designer, I was also part of two startups as founding product designer. As you can imagine, this is how my Figma files looked like. Both of these startups had a similar approach. Both were desktop first, and both used similar UI components. Both startups has the same button with a similar green color and the same border radius. So, as you can guess, I rebuilt complete platform from scratch. At that time, I didn't know much about Figma components, design system, and stuff like that. At that time, it was pretty new concept. But what one designer in burnout can do after one full-time job and two startups, he got an idea for another side project. So that's exactly part 2 of Burnout Talk that we listened to recently. Yeah, I got the idea to kind of create a product version of those components. So I wanted to rebuild them and reuse them on other projects as well. But I was naive, and that project was quickly put on the graveyard of my side projects. So it never left drafts folder on my Figma account. And yeah, that was the one of the first lessons that I learned about adding another side projects to my portfolio that never has seen the day of the light. I'm Lazar, founder of Detachless, and I've been designing digital products and products since 2016 for startups, companies, corporations, agencies, and others. All of this stuff you can find on my LinkedIn, but the story of me solving my own problems actually starts 12, when I was just a little guy from neighborhood in Belgrade. And I was just like football fan with a good grades in school, with friends that are also football fans, and none of us were designers. So this is the icon of Adobe Photoshop 7, which my uncle installed on my PC at that time. That was one of the newest versions of Photoshop. And what you want to do when you have a group of your friends that are attending a football match, you are huge supporter of your football club and you want to be more unique and be more loud than the other football groups. So someone from our group needed to become designer, and I stepped up and I downloaded Photoshop and started learning to design. Those designs that I designed for my friends and our football fans group slowly started to be recognized by other football fans in Serbia, and quickly after kickoff or whatever, I started to charge for my services of design €3 per design. This was my first independent money, which I did not get from my parents. And at that time, on the school break, I can buy 2 slices of pizza instead of 1. So it was a big hit for me. And I earned those €3 just because I wanted to solve my own problem. None of us at that time didn't know how to create a design for football flags or football stickers. So I needed to turn on the Photoshop and move some rectangles and texts so I can get paid better. And that eventually led to some bigger problem that I solved or tried to solve. I noticed that the market was even bigger than just Serbia or the region. And quickly after that, I started to promote my small business on the Facebook page and later on Instagram as well. And I noticed that I can get paid to draw rectangles for other football fans in the Europe, which was pretty awesome at that time because I was like 15 or 16 years old. The only thing that bothered me at that time, it was how to get paid with under 18 years, how to get paid from the Europe. So I sold my services on the internet, and the customers literally took 20 euros, put it in the envelope, and go to the post office and send it to my address. So that was MVP of the PayPal, I guess. And that money really came to my address. When I got that envelope, it was somewhere in the pile of bills for the power or telecommunication and stuff. And my parents didn't believe me that I don't sell drugs or something like that. But shortly after that, when I turned 18 years, the first thing I was about to do was going to the bank and open that famous PayPal account. So now I can get paid in a little better way. So expanding to Europe was pretty easy at that time because paid ads was really cheap. And for like 10 euros, I can get tens of thousands reach and clicks and messages as well. So I got my first clients from Cyprus, Slovenia, Germany, and so on. So that was another level up which I didn't know that I will try to achieve. So I started small for just my group of friends, then region, and after that Europe. Since I only posted the photos of the products that I designed, so I designed a flag for someone, he sent me a picture of the flag, and I post that flag. I started to getting questions, do you print flags or stickers? And what I said, yes. Did I? No. But I just wanted more money, and I was like, okay, I will solve that somehow. So when I started getting money from PayPal and withdrawing it to my personal account, I was fully operating business from my parents' house and room that I share with my brother. It's kind of Amazon storage, just we're not in the garage, we're in the room. And that was the moment when I needed to find out how to print those flags because I already took that money. So that was the beginning of pivoting my service business, kind of, to print-on-demand platform for football fans worldwide, with focus on Great Britain, specifically on England, because football is invented in England, and there had the biggest culture about that. We are not even close. Why is that important? Because I stopped charging for designs, and when my brother joined me in my company, he brings some technical knowledge, and we built a new website with software that football fans can design their football flags on our website for free. All they need to do is to order a flag or a bunch of stickers from us. As you can guess, that scaled unexpectedly well, whatever. At one point, we were selling around 100 flags and tens of thousands stickers per month, which led to scaling our business to 10K MRR, which we didn't plan at any point from the beginning. And on the side note, we didn't spend later in the phase of the print on demand, we didn't spend any penny on the ads. All of our orders are coming through organically and from mouth to mouth. Because we had some good position in the UK for the phrase football flags. And we were fighting back to back with the biggest competitors from the UK, from small suburb in Belgrade. And one of the craziest stories is that when I travel to Europe, I can see our stickers all over the places like Prague, Madrid, and stuff like that. And the one night when me and my brother watched Champions League final with our dad, and Tottenham was playing at their new stadium. One of the flags that last week was in our room, we saw it on the RTS, so it was kind of funny. But scaling to this amount of money was really challenging for us. We were two guys with just go with the flow strategy. We had a lot of logistic and customs problems later on, and we decided to sold our project in 2022. So that was kind of the end of this boy's story and the dream job from my childhood. So that was the example how I wanted to just solve a problem for myself and for my friends, and later that scaled to the moon. So for two young fellas from suburb of Belgrade, we were pretty happy with the output. It was a great story to talk about, because I'm now here talking about that. So yeah, and that was third part of my life I was doing on that project. But the button I mentioned in the intro of this presentation was actually led me to my current startup, my current project, and my first project that I'm first time in my career working full-time on only one project. It's insane. You should try it sometimes. It's insane, and it feels weird sometimes that I don't have 3 projects and some deadlines to catch up, because I'm giving myself tasks, and I'm procrastinating as well, much, but it's awesome. Why is this button important for today's story? This button was the same at both startups that I was working on as a founding product designer. And this button let me think, what are you doing? Why are you rebuilding me from scratch every time? Why don't you just make some components, instances, or whatever phrases, whatever phrase was active at that time in Figma. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with Figma concepts, but as you can see, there says detach instance. And for one last time, which I didn't know it was the last time, I detached that button. What that means in design terms is that you never find that button again. You will tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna detach this button at the moment, and I will come back to my main component. I will add another variant, and I will replace this magnificent detached button somewhere in the screens. And you can see in the background there is a bunch of screens. So, as you can guess, I was lying to myself. I never came back and I never replaced that button. But the project I was mentioned at the beginning was my first try of building a UI kit. My first try of building a productized library of components for Figma, which was called UI Starter Kit. What a creative name. And it started. That's a good beginning when you add another idea to your Notes app on your phone. If it leaves the Notes app, then you're on a good track. And this one left my Notes app, but shortly after that, it was on a graveyard. Why? I don't know. Probably because I was burned out. Part of 2 startups, 2 e-commerce, trying to maintain my social life and stuff like that full time. So I think it was not a good time to build something like that, as at that time I didn't have enough knowledge about Figma and organization of those complex design systems. So fast forward to 2023, it was June, beginning of the summer last year. Figma had annual conference at San Francisco, and they announced some amazing features. Some amazing features that let me think, maybe I should try again. Is it the right time now? I was still part of those startups and working full time, but I started to seeing that maybe this time I can be more disciplined and try something more concrete. And I decided to try it, to give it a try, but at the beginning of every project you need a decent name. If you don't name that you can stand fully in front of it, is it even worth to start that project? So I was on a vacation last year at the beach at Montenegro, and I didn't have a name at that time. I just had some concepts that I wanted to cover. At that time, I was playing around with headless UI, which is some front-end UI library, and I wanted to. That sounded to me like nice name, whatever. So I combined magical word detach with less, as I wanted to avoid detaching components forever. So when I noticed that detachless.com is actually available, I bought it immediately. And just right after that vacation, I started building UI kit, this time for real. What I mean when I say for real, I decided to jump to the movement of building in public in order to commit with all of you that I'm already building it, so I can have more responsibility to actually ship something. And the very first version of the touchless Figma UI kit actually came out, I think, somewhere in the August last year. Couple of versions later, I was really fluid with updates. There were a lot of users in the first couple of weeks, a couple of hundreds, and it was a time to. I bought the domain, but on the domain was nothing. I was just redirected domain to the Figma file in the Figma community. And after a couple of hundreds users later, I decided it's time to build a landing page, a proper landing page where you will have some basic sections explaining how our UI kit works, what are advantages, what are pricing, whatever. And this is the process of me designing websites in the last couple of years. So, tens of websites was designed and somehow developed by me in the last couple of years. First, that was WordPress, Wix, I don't know, some other no-code platforms. In the last couple of years, that was Webflow, Framer, Bubble, and stuff like that. And the process will be the same this time. I would design website in Figma and poof, magic, and that will be live on some no-code platform. For example, I decided for our project to be Framer, but I was really tired of that process to repeat it over and over again, and the light has come to my head again, and I decided to pivot completely the idea from UI kit to solution for publishing websites directly from Figma to web. I was telling myself at that time that market of UI kits was already saturated and competition was really high and already well positioned on the market. So I wanted to solve a bigger problem at that time. I wanted to jump into this landing page builder scene and to use UI kit as a marketing strategy to bring people to use our main product, which is a plugin for Figma that allows you to publish your website directly from Figma to web. So you don't need to use any other tool rather than Figma. And if your files are well organized, you will have everything on click, which at that time was really a revolutionary thing. So that was around a year ago, maybe a little bit less. I built a landing page for us in Framer, which is a great tool. And our website is still on Framer, but soon it will be fully on our technology. And what I needed to launch our landing page and pivot the idea, I needed some proof of concept. So I decided to design a UI in Figma, record some demo video, and promote it on my social media, whatever it is, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Reddit. And with just a demo video and opened wait list, we collected more than 1,000 users on the wait list. And a couple of months ago, we released our first private beta, which led to around 700 users that are tested our first versions. Currently, yesterday, we launched our public beta, and now you can even connect your custom domain to your website directly in Figma. So no need to switch between Webflow, Framer, or any other platform. So what are the powers or superpowers which you get while you're building a product for yourself. You get a lot of first-hand experience. What does it mean? It means that you already try a bunch of other tools and you want those huge or long processes to put in your product and solve it somehow. It doesn't matter. So you already skip some research because you are your first target group. The second thing is that you can identify your pain points very early. Because you decided to build a product for yourself, you probably already know that you already know what are some of the pain points are. You will learn a lot more about them as the product grows, but you already have enough scope of pain points to solve them to kick off your project. For us, it was enough to record a Figma prototype and build a hype around that. We didn't have a line of code just until April this year, I think. So we were 6 years just with a demo prototype promoting our SaaS or startup or whatever. And that was enough to learn more about the market and learn more about even more pain points. From one side, you have superpowers. From the other one, the failures are hurt more. While you're trying to solve your own problems, every failure is bigger than if you're trying to solve a problem for a client, for a company, or for some third party. So you need to get up every morning and tell yourself that every failure is a lesson, which can be pretty hard because your motivation go ups and down on a daily basis. And the second thing is everything will take a much longer than you expected in those early stages. We are currently in one startup program, and one of the mentors told us that every time estimation for development or whatever will actually be 2 or 3 times longer than we expected. And that hurted me a lot because it is true. And in the early stages, such as we are, you want everything to be fast. You want everything to be done by Friday or by today, by the end of the day. And sometimes that's not possible. And that's the reason there will be a lot of setbacks. I already mentioned first-hand experience. So this is one of the most important parts of building your own products. So if you want to solve your own problem, you need to use that solution. And here I'm not talking about using as a tester. Everyone can be a QA or whatever. Everyone can test features, and everyone can test UI, pixel perfect design, and stuff like that. But only if you use your product as your main target group, as your customers, you will learn if there is any mistake in the flow or the core of the product. So we started using our product as a testers at the beginning, but shortly after we realized that that is not the main use case of our product. We completely shifted our minds and started building landing pages as soon as possible. As soon as our product was enough enough valuable with features, we started building landing pages for clients in order to learn more about our product from the main floor. So we learned a lot, and we changed user flow of our core multiple times, which can be really painful in the beginning when you are not even on the market yet. So the biggest lesson here is to start using your own product as soon as possible. Okay. Clipping mask is not working here. No. Never mind. There is a title behind this picture which says, "Always think bigger." Trust me. It's not ChatGPT generated, I promise. But while I tried multiple times to solve my own problems, I didn't stop at that problems at that scale as well. So if you solve a problem for your use cases, learn or try to learn about other use cases from your group of friends, similar community, or stuff like that. And don't be trapped in a box, and always seek more and always think bigger and go outside of the box, because maybe you will scale from €3 per design to 10K MRR. Even if you wanted to scale from 1 slice of pizza to 2 slices of pizzas. So there is always a step up, and you just need to be more proactive to try and to see what's on the next step. And for the end, I used this image is AI generated because I don't know if any of you are using Perplexity. It is a great tool, and their visual style is really awesome. And if you are on one side of the river and you don't have a solution for your problem, be brave enough to build your own bridge step by step, and you will see what's at the other side of the river. Thanks. Questions? Mm-hmm.
Everybody can do QA whatever product was to actually use it. So did you use it in any other projects of your own, or was it when you was with clients? How did you thoroughly test the?
Yeah, we used it for both. Actually, we built a couple of landing pages for clients specifically with our solution, so we can see what workarounds need to be done with current versions, so I can explain them later in FAQ, maybe some tutorial and stuff like that. And so we can see better what features we are missing at current stage. So yeah, we are currently using it for clients and to help onboard our customers, but soon we will also move our website completely from Framer to detachless, and I think that will be the biggest milestone of our project so far. Thank you. Anyone else?
Okay, I'm going to jump in with the question. If you could go back in time, would you have done the same, or would you have changed something in the whole process and the approach?
Yeah, I will probably do the same because this is the first project in my career that I was like, okay, maybe this is the one. I also quit my full-time senior role at the international company to fulfill my startup dream. So I guess I will do the same.
Good. Now that's brave, I have to say. Okay, one more time. Round of applause for Lazar.